I have a lighthearted, funny, spooky story time for you today. I was a massage therapist 8 years ago, and I started working at a spa in a mall built probably in the 80s, so it was not old. I am a medium, so I'm pretty open when people share their experiences with ghosts or anything paranormal. But like I said, this was 7, 8 years ago, so I didn't realize I was a medium and definitely was not as open as I am now. Okay, so a few of the people who worked there would tell me there was a ghost in the spa and that they felt like it was a man. And I would kind of like nod and be like, wow, okay. But in the back of my head, I'd be like, sure. Especially because most of the people who shared these stories were the receptionists who would have these experiences late at night when they would be closing the spa and no one else would be around. So I thought maybe their imagination was just running wild. You know what I mean? Fast forward to one of my last shifts there before I was about to start working at a different spa. I had just walked out of my last appointment and was grabbing my client some water to greet them at the door when they came out. I went to check my locker and grab my jewelry to put back on because it was the end of the night and I wanted to give my client a couple minutes to get ready. So I went to put my ring on my thumb and it fell off somehow onto the ground. And it was weird because I couldn't hear it fall even though it would have fallen on tile. This was the end of the night. No one was there except for me, the receptionist, one of my friends, and another therapist who was wrapping up her final massage for the night. I looked on the floor for a few seconds, but I couldn't find it. So I thought, you know what, I'll come back, I'll find it after I take my client to the front and say goodbye. So that's what I did. I immediately started to look for my ring. It was crazy. I could not find it anywhere. I took out my phone, my flashlight and my phone, looked everywhere, all over the floor. I even asked St. Anthony for help finding it. I was so desperate I even looked in my locker again. I thought maybe someone had put it in there somehow, or I hallucinated. Maybe I grabbed it and put it on my finger. I was stumped. My friend came out of her massage and she tried to help me after she said goodbye to her last client, and so did the other woman. We were all looking for it with no luck. My coworker said, hey, you should just write a note in case someone finds it. And she left for the night. I put a note about my ring on the little board in the employee break room. So it was just me and my friend in the spot at this point. No one else there except for the receptionist in the front who had no idea what was going on. We had not told her yet. Me and my friend were going to walk out together, so I went to grab my purse. And to my shock and amazement, my ring was right on top of my purse, like perfectly on top. It made zero sense. There was no way anyone, including my friend or my coworker, could have put it there because we were all in the same room the entire time. Since I looked in my locker to check in case I had been hallucinating, remember? I just immediately got like full body goosebumps and low-key started kind of freaking out because I realized all the stories that everybody had been telling me about their paranormal experiences were absolutely legit. Of course, I immediately went to the front and told the receptionist. She was like, see, I told you so. I'll never